What's up, YouTube? It's the one and only legend of winning, aka Low, and I'm back with another video. For the people out there who missed my last video, I'll make sure I put a link in the description, or I'll have an annotation somewhere on the screen. However, in my last video, I talked about the legacy of Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James if the Golden State Warriors end up losing this NBA Finals this year. In that video, just to give you a quick overview, at least with LeBron, I said that if LeBron ended up winning the championship this year, it's pretty hard to convince a lot of people, including me, that he isn't at least on the same level as Michael Jordan. However, there's also one more thing that he could potentially do that would easily push him over the top of MJ and make him, in my opinion, hands down, the greatest player of all time. And that one thing is what we're going to be talking about in today's video, which is the unbreakable record that LeBron could potentially break, which is scoring 40,000 points throughout his entire career. Now, I know a lot of people are saying already in the comment section, yo, this is crazy. Low, you're ridiculous. There's no way that LeBron can score 40,000 points. Quite frankly, I thought the exact same thing as well. Initially, I was making a video trying to break down how many points LeBron had to score to pass Kareem so he can be #1 on that list. And as I start breaking down the numbers, I start to realize LeBron James could potentially pass Kareem before he turns 40 years old. Actually, if he really puts his mind to it, he could probably pass Kareem before he's 38, which is crazy. So when I came to that conclusion, I immediately just thought to myself, why would I stop with Kareem? Why not just go to 40,000 points? It's extremely possible for him to do so. So because of that, I decided to make the video. Now, before we get into the video, two quick things. One, I'm expecting LeBron to play until he's 40 years old. And the second thing to keep in mind is that LeBron James, before the NBA season started, had a grand total of 26,833 points. So that is a number we're going to be building off of. I understand he scored more points and he's further into the scoring list. However, this is the number that we're going to use so we can have a very even number at the end of each and every year. So with that in mind, let's go into the video and I'm going to break down year by year how LeBron is going to be able to score 40,000 points. So through this quest of greatness, we're going to start off this year. And like I stated before, in the beginning of the season, LeBron had a grand total of 26,833 points. Now, right now, LeBron is averaging a little over 26 points. However, we're going to be realistic and say that he's probably going to average roughly around 25 to 26 points, so we'll give him 25.5 points. Again, I'm downplaying what LeBron could potentially do, and obviously this isn't his career average. I'm going to be realistic, not only this year, but in years to come, as you will clearly see. So again, 25.5 points a game for LeBron this year. We're going to keep it simple. Not only that, obviously LeBron isn't going to play all 82 games, so we will believe that LeBron is going to play roughly around 75 games because last year he played 76. Again, I think these numbers are fairly realistic. So let's just say, again, LeBron averages 25.5 points over 75 games this year, which means that he'll end this season having 1,912 points in the entire year. Add that to his total of 26,833 points, you'll have a grand total of 28,745 points. Again, all of that is realistic. Last year he had extremely similar numbers. I think he'll be able to do the exact same thing this year as well. Now, moving on, next year when he's 33 years old, let's say, to keep it simple, he does the exact same thing. 25.5 points over 75 games, 1,912 points. And let's just say, again, to keep it simple, at the age of 34, he does the same thing once again. Now, I know at this point, a lot of people are saying, realistically speaking, LeBron at 34, he's not going to average 25.5 points. However, I'm keeping it in the realm of possibility compared to other all-time great players such as Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Karl Malone. So I do believe all of this is still relatively possible. I don't believe that he's going to be able to fall off that much over the next 2 to 3 years. And even if he does by a little bit, like I stated before, when this season, I'm giving him some wiggle room. So even at the age of 34, if he's not averaging 25.5 points, he should be averaging somewhere near there, and he'll be able to have some wiggle room because he might be able to outperform 25.5 points this season. So because of that, he's going to have a grand total of 32,569 points by the age of 34, which means that he's going to pass Shaq, Dirk Nowitzki, Wilt Chamberlain, and Michael Jordan, which again, I think all is realistic. Passing Shaq is something that he probably will do by the end of the season. Passing Dirk is what he's probably going to do next year. And Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan are fairly close to one another, so he's probably going to be able to do that all by the age of 34. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, just as a side note, let's say LeBron never took off any games throughout his entire career up until the age of 34. Outside of the lockout season and the infamous Miami break, that's a grand total of 66 games that he left on the table, which means that he potentially could be even further in the scoring list if he had played all 66 of those games. Now, obviously, there are other people on this list, such as Michael Jordan, who missed games because of injuries and also early retirements. However, just looking at where LeBron is at the age of 34, if LeBron had really played all those games that people wanted him to play, he wouldn't be barely passing Michael Jordan. He would be by far leaps and bounds by Michael Jordan. Because even if you were to say, out of those 66 games, he averaged roughly around 25 points per game, LeBron should be knocking on Kobe Bryant, not barely passing Michael Jordan. However, you know, for Kobe's sake and Michael Jordan's sake, he missed those 66 games. So we're not going to look at that, and we're going to move into the next year. Because in the 2019-2020 season, at the age of 35, LeBron starts to slow down a bit. He really starts to give it over to Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and Tristan Thompson, let them take control of it, and he starts to slow down, and his shot selection starts to become more predominantly behind the arc or inside. His efficiency goes up a little bit. However, he's nowhere near the same player that he was athletically, and all he's doing is scoring roughly around 23 points a game. Now, I think that is, again, extremely possible, especially looking at other older players such as Alex English, Dominique Wilkins, and of course, Michael Jordan. Averaging 23 points, especially when you're around teammates that are able to set you up and open up the floor for you to knock down your threes, I think is extremely possible. Not only that, LeBron is becoming a better three-point shooter, so that's going to help the process as well. And on top of that, he should be able to get to the line a bit more often. Hopefully, he starts to knock down his free throws, because that's something that is killing him in this points argument. However, I do believe averaging 23 points at the age of 35 is fairly reasonable. Now, moving on to the next season where he's 36 years old, LeBron at this point obviously is going to continue to deteriorate. Obviously, he's nowhere near that same athlete that he is, and he's starting to find very sneaky ways to get into the lane and score. However, Kyrie Irving should still be able to dominate, because at this point, Kyrie Irving won't even be 30 years old. Tristan Thompson won't be 30 neither. Kevin Love will be a bit older, roughly around the age of 32. However, he still should be efficient as well. Not only that, LeBron still should be able to convince people to come play with him in Cleveland. So at the age of 36, LeBron is averaging 20 points per game, which should really separate him between Kobe Bryant, which then moves us on until he's 37 years old. Again, getting older, he's not going to be able to put up any crazy numbers, so we're going to stick him at 20 points per game, which again, I think is fairly reasonable at the age of 37, because if you look at what Michael did at 38, I do believe that is possible. So at 37, averaging 20 points per game, that's a grand total of 1,500 points through 75 games. So now he's finally over Karl Malone at 37,294 points, which is pretty crazy. Now in the next 3 years, it's a bit up in the air, just to be completely honest with you all. There's a few ways he can knock this off between the age of 38, 39, and 40, or he could potentially play a little bit longer than that. The first way, he can basically average around 12 to 13 points every single season. The second way is he can average 15 points when he's 38 years old, and in his last 2 years, he can average around 10 points and he would eventually get to 40,000 points. Or you can believe that he's probably going to play beyond 40 years of age, and at that point, he can basically just stretch it out as long as he wants to. However, the reason why I want to stop here is because I'm going to look at the age of 38. Let's say hypothetically at 38 years old, LeBron is going to put up 15 points per game while playing 75 games that season. Again, I think that's fairly reasonable, especially when a few years ago Grant Hill practically did the same thing himself. When he was 38 years old, he played 80 games and he averaged 13 points. So because of this, at the age of 38, if LeBron is able to continue the way that he's going, or at least continue the way that I believe he should, he'll have a grand total of 38,419 points. Which means at the age of 38, he will pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Quite frankly, we could possibly stop right here, and this is where I roughly stopped at anyway. And the reason why I did stop here is because I do want to ask you this. If LeBron ended up passing Kareem, is that enough? In my opinion, it is, because I really don't believe there will be another player to pass. However, like I said in my intro, I decided, why would he stop? Why would he stop at 38,000? Especially when 40,000 is basically right around the corner. And if you believe that he's going to be able to play till he's 40, after breaking the numbers down the way that I broke them down, there's no way that you should believe that he will not get to 40,000 points. However, let's just say that you believe that I embellished a little bit, that I kind of boosted his numbers a little bit. He's probably not going to be playing 75 games that deep into his career. Let's just say that you believe that. At the age of 38, looking at the numbers that I have, he's already passing Kareem. So hypothetically, even if we tone down the numbers that I have just a little bit to fit whatever you believe that LeBron will be able to do as he continues to get older, LeBron might not be able to get to 40,000 points. However, he probably should be able to still pass Kareem, which is something that is outrageous. The fact that LeBron has the potential to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the scoring list, a number that is so crazy that it doesn't make any sense for anybody to set their goals to break that number, because it's almost impossible to do. The fact that LeBron could potentially pass that number should be more than enough after looking at this video to prove that he will eventually be the greatest player of all time. However, like I said, I could not stop there because he was so close at 40,000. I said, heck, why not keep going at 40,000? So now when you're looking at the age of 39 and 40 years old, all LeBron has to do is average roughly around 10.5 points a game while playing 75 games, and he'll be able to pass it. And to be quite frank with you all, there's a good handful of players in the NBA, even some in today's league, such as Vince Carter, that has averaged roughly around 10 points a game at the age of 39 and 40 years old. And again, even if you don't think he's going to be able to score 40,000 points, you have to believe that he's going to eventually pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is still a record that I really can't even fathom to believe I'm going to see anybody else be able to break anytime soon. So there you have it, people. That is the unbreakable record that LeBron will be able to break. I know a lot of people are going to be like, 40,000 points is a bit much. However, at the bare minimum, I do want LeBron goes out there and he guns for it. I do hope that at some point LeBron realizes where he's at, and I hope he's able to accomplish it. And it'll be crazy because I'll be able to say that I saw that. So that would be ridiculous. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button and make sure you follow me on Twitter at Legend of Winning. And also, just for a quick update, one, I do have a new logo, so yes, this is still me. Make sure you do hit the notification bell because things may not pop up. I don't know why they're not popping up in some people's subscription box, but it might not pop up. Some people have already told me on Twitter that YouTube has dropped them off my subscription, so make sure you do that as well. But I do have a new logo, new color scheme, and all that other stuff. Two, I'm putting myself on a schedule. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, I should be uploading a video. Friday should be the podcast. So that means Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 4 times out of the week, there should be something on my channel. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter because when I'm not uploading, or at least the days that I'm not uploading, I should be doing some stuff on Twitter as well, regardless if it's polling or me just interacting with the fans and things like that. Being a lot more interactive on Twitter is something that I do plan on being over the next, I guess, 12 months this year. I guess you can say it like that. Yesterday I was a lot more interactive, so if you missed that, make sure you just go to my Twitter page and you kind of keep up to date on everything that's going on. And also, if you follow me on Twitter, I will for sure update you on when I will be uploading a video. So yeah, there you have it, people, the unbreakable record that LeBron potentially could break. If you enjoyed the video, I already said this, so yeah, I already said this. Again though, if you like the video, put the thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section below. I didn't say that. And hit the subscribe button, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.